It's in his alone. And if there were anything that I truly hope that you would take home with you tonight through your time here, I hope it would be that, because no problem is ever too big for our God. Final thing, of course, I carry as a shepherd is my shepherd staff. Some people think that I might use my shepherd staff a little bit like this. What? But lucky for everyone in the audience tonight, I don't use it like that. I use it to lean on and to walk with. It's always there to support me. If I ever want to inspect one of my sheep, all I have to do is reach out with my shepherd staff and I can pull a sheep into me. I can make sure that sheep is strong and healthy. Or if one of my sheep is about to go off a cliff, I'm not going to let any of my sheep go off a cliff, so before it go off the cliff, I can hook the end around its body. I pull it back in. I do all of that with my staff. God has used his shepherd staff for many miraculous things in the scriptures. Moses, for example, with his shepherd staff, he lifted it up, he parted the sea by the power of God. And at one time, a little earlier, God told Moses to throw down his staff. Moses, he threw down his staff and it became a snake. Whew, but I'm glad that mine didn't become a snake just now. Or else I would probably be like, whoa! Sorry, sir, I thought I saw it move there for a moment. Have you read the Bible closely? When Moses' staff turned into a snake, what did he do at first? He ran from it. He was afraid. How many of us would honestly be running with Moses tonight? Anybody out here? Interesting thing about it, though, if my staff were to really turn into a snake just then, I wouldn't have to outrun the snake. No, I just have to outrun all of you. Tell me, was there any reason for Moses to be afraid? Of course not. All he had to do was reach out and grab the snake by the tail, and it would become a staff again. And that is exactly what happened, because our God can work all kinds of miracles, can't he? Now that I've told you a little bit about what I carry as a shepherd, let me tell you a little bit more about what I do. I am a shepherd, therefore I shepherd my sheep. That means I look after them and I care for them. I want to be a good shepherd, so I know my sheep, they know me. That reminds me of another shepherd I know. Maybe you know him, I hope you do. His name is Jesus. And in John 10, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. As a matter of fact, I think that Jesus is the best shepherd in the whole wide world. And I don't know about any of you, but I'm one of his sheep. Oops, I let that one slip. Jesus says, all of us who follow after him, what are we? We're his sheep. We're a part of his flock. He said at the very end of time, he'll divide everyone into two groups. He'll put the sheep, he'll put those people on his right hand. He'll put the goats on his left hand. He said, the sheep are the people who, when I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was a stranger, you invited me in. When I didn't have any clothes, you gave me clothes. When I was sick, you came and cared for me. When I was in prison, you visited me. Those sheep will say, but Lord, when did we do any of that for you? We don't remember when we did that for you. And Jesus will look at them and he will say to them, whatever you have done for the least of these, you've done. It's because we've shown people his love. Jesus' love, it's an unconditional love. In Romans it says that there is nothing that can separate us from the love of God that is in Jesus Christ. That's because he loves us. He knows us. We as his sheep, we should know and love him. We should know the sound of his voice. We should follow him when he says, come, follow me. For he will lead us to green pastures and still waters so that we can become strong and healthy spiritually. And if one of us were to get lost, if one of us were not to hear the sound of his voice, Jesus will search for us until he finds us. And you know what Jesus does when he finds his lost sheep? He rejoices because he's found his lost sheep. And the scriptures say, we all like sheep have gone astray. All of us have turned to our own. We've all been lost at one time or another, haven't we? We've all been lost in our sin, in our utter darkness. But Jesus Christ, the light of the world, stepped down into our darkness so that we may be found in